How are you doing, you old salty son of a bitch? And
Happy birthday, you old motherfucker.
there you go. If you guys haven't figured it out, we are not on Roku tonight, which means it is uncensored. And I need what I need to do is I need to up and open on Instagram too, because that's the one thing I forgot to do.
Okay, then.
Is open it up.
We got a special guest with us tonight.
Oh, yeah, we do. I mean,
oh, yeah.
we'll be. I'm gonna wait for my tablet to open up. Now, for those that are here, as you guys know, Chronicles likes to get up close and personal and give you all of the wonderful stats and information and highlights of Raider greats of the past. Now, I just noticed that in the background, Jerry, do you see the background? I kind of let the cat out of the bag here. You see that picture there behind me? Okay. Yeah, he's put. Yeah, no, we can't hear you yet. We can't hear you yet, folks. That is a picture, and no, I didn't do it deliberately. By the way, that's what I have as one of my background props. Okay, that's what I have as one of my background props. But that is a picture of Super Bowl 50. Oh yeah, he's giving me the scout sign. But he actually gave me the Vulcan sign, but I can figure out what he's saying. And without further ado, unless you would like to announce our guest,
thank you,
Daniel. Please announce our guest.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Raider Nation. We have three-time All-Pro, one-time Pro Bowl. We have ex-Raider linebacker Jerry Robinson.
And there he is right there.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me start first. Yo, happy birthday, matey. Okay, mate. Happy birthday. And that picture that you pointed to, that you had mentioned to, you know what? It's a constant reminder for me and for you and for those people that are viewing the show of the greatness of the Raiders in Super Bowl 15. That's for them. For me, it's a bad dream, brother. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. But it's okay though, man. You know what? If you're going to lose to a team, you might as well lose to your favorite childhood team. So that's what it was with me. So yeah. But anyway, happy birthday, man. Shit, you look good for 80.
Yeah, not bad for 80. Not bad for 80. And then on Friday, my shipmate here, he turns 80 as well.
Yeah.
Is that right? Coming up.
He's 3 days old. He's 3 days older than me, so that's why I get to call him an old bastard.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a good call, matey.
Yeah. But no, like I said, I actually have this as one of my picture backdrops. In fact, let me go to the wide view. Okay. And you can see that I have actually I got to change backgrounds here if I'm going to do this, but I have that as one of the pictures that I have as there you go. As the ones I have in back, because I got Stabler behind me when I do the widescreen.
Yeah.
And then I get into my cubby hole here, and then I bring the other one over, and I had Howie, but that's over there somewhere. But I had that one queued up, and again, it was not subliminal, Jerry, because I love you, brother.
I hear you. I love you too. But you know what? I got to say this though. You're surrounded by greatness. You really are. I mean, those are guys, and they're friends of mine, and most of them were teammates. And I watched Kenny when I was here in Santa Rosa when at the Rancho Tropicana. So I know how you feel, man. What I'm looking at you now, and it's just bringing back the old days, the greatness of the Raiders, and it's a good time to feel that way.
But no, I definitely wanted to make sure that you are not. I didn't do it deliberately. I said it was just one I had queued up as well, and I want to get to some of the things again. For all the folks here again, it was Sinister Rain. And by the way, yeah, we can cuss tonight. Happy birthday, fucker! So thank you there. And Anthony Estrada said it to both of us. Arkham, Raider at China. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it, guys. You guys didn't get him, did you? No, we didn't get who? We didn't get anybody. First, yeah, and by the way, if you like what you see, hit the likes and share. Share this up for everybody, okay? I haven't put this on it because I've been so busy doing here. I haven't put this up on Instagram yet, but I'm going to do that in a minute. So people on Instagram will hopefully come over to YouTube. And Jerry, I want to say personally, I want to thank you for being here because as I alluded to earlier, I've had a rough spout for a while, but I wanted to have something that was good for me for my birthday, and knowing that you are such a wonderful person, and you have been on my show before. In fact, I think you still do hold the record for the long. And I don't remember. It was like two. I think it was like 2.5 hours.
It was quite a yeah. We got on a roll, man, and we just kept going. And you know what? The sun started coming up, and it was about time for us to get off.
Yeah, but again, it's by the way, for folks going up on Instagram, you are watching on Instagram. This is the Captain Jack and OG Daniel Chronicles of the Black Hole Show. I'm trying to get. I got my tablet squared away. So you're on Instagram. You're only seeing me on Instagram. Go to YouTube because you're missing Jerry Robinson. I was late tonight on Instagram, and you're watching me now. By the way, this is my birthday shirt. This is my birthday shirt.
You didn't wear your birthday suit.
Yeah, thank you.
It is better than a birthday suit. Go to YouTube to see Jerry Robinson because that is our special guest tonight. Okay.
Right. And you know what? I've got questions. I got a lot of questions for you, but
okay.
When you were in Philadelphia, you were number 56. When you went to the Raiders, you became 57. Let me ask you, what prompted that?
Well, when I got drafted in the first round by the Philadelphia Eagles, my brother had died from a gunshot wound to the head when I was he got shot when I was in high school, and he died my first year at UCLA. And we were both born in 1956. He was born in January, I was born in December. So when I got to the Philadelphia Eagles, I was able to get number 56. And for me, it was that even though he was gone, he was always with me. Every time I put on that number, that 56, I was representing not just me, but my brother. So I get traded to the Raiders. Jeff Barnes had it, JB. And so it wasn't available then, so I just took 57. But that's the thing behind that 56. It was in honor of my brother, only brother I ever had. And yeah, that's why you can see that 56 directly behind me. I got my Eagle jersey and the Raider stuff on the other side too.
Well, see, that's the thing. I remember hearing the story that you just told when you interviewed with Mark Pattison, another great Raider.
Yeah.
And very great speaker. And I watched his documentary when he was doing his climbs for his daughter.
Yeah.
It was just like I didn't know about the number change. That was what I was curious about.
Yeah, that's what it was. And JB already had 56, and I've known JB. Just you know what? When I was with the Eagles and playing against the Raiders in Super Bowl 15, I mean, I knew probably half of the team. You know what I mean? It was really weird, man. It was really weird. And so when I came to the Raiders, JB already had that number, and that was his number, and he was known for his number, 56. And the next thing in line was 57. So I held that on for about 7 years with the Raiders.
Well, actually, that now your number is actually will forever be in Raiders lore, because not just because of you, but because of you and of who you inspired with that number. And we'll talk about that when you want to do that segue as well, because we want to talk about all the things that are good for you. And we've done this before, Jerry. So it's like, and I had all those questions and things before. So if we're off the cuff, I apologize. It's I was like, wow, you're going to come on for my birthday. And it took me by surprise because I wanted to get something scheduled with you, but it's like you say, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, wow. So
well, when you told me it was for your birthday, yo, man, come on, man, I love you, you know that, and I said, okay, everything else is gonna have to wait for a couple hours because this could go a couple hours with Captain Jack because he has a tendency to talk a lot longer than I do.
I do. That's true. That's true.
Oh,
he's great at expounding.
What was that, OG?
I said you're great at expounding. You should write books.
Thanks, OG. Thanks for helping me out, man. That's good. I was searching for expounding, but I've been concussed, brother. Some things just don't click it in my brain as fast as it used to.
Okay, that's another question. You said you were concussed. Well, I know you got to play in the area of helmet to helmet contact.
Yeah.
Who's the hardest? Who was the one opposing player you hit the hardest?
Well, that's an interesting question because I've been hit by, and I've also hit. There's two sides to that coin right there. I think the hardest person, the one that I really enjoyed the most was when I was playing for the Eagles, and I couldn't stand the Dallas Cowboys. I still can't. They said, well, America's team. I'm like, I didn't get a vote. I didn't see my ballot anyway. It's a long story, and I've always wanted to play against Tony Dorsett, because we were together when he won the Heisman Trophy. I was on one of the All-American trips, the Bob Hope Christmas show anyway. And I had a chance to meet him. And from that point, after meeting him, I said, you know what, I hope I get a chance to play against this dude who looks like Flip Wilson. So he played the Dallas Cowboys, and my first opportunity to play against him, it was on the screen pattern anyway, and I read it perfectly. And I was sitting there. As soon as he caught that screen and turned around, I blasted him. I lit him up. He looked at me. He said, Jerry, how did you get here so quick? And that right there, that was one. I love that hit right there. Now, the worst hit I've ever experienced was I'd intercepted a pass. You guys can go YouTube this. I believe it was 84, I think it was. But I intercepted a pass against Washington Redskins. That was their name back then. And I'm going down. I break off. I get to the sideline. I'm running down the sideline, and I'm just hearing this ESPN da-da-da, da-da-da. I said, I'm going to be on the highlights tonight. Well, what happened was as I started to slow down and to cut back, the running back grabbed me from behind and stood me straight up. And at the same time, Jim Lachey, the 330-pound badass offensive tackle, who he had just traded to that season, traded him there. We brought Jay Schrader up to us. He decided to launch a very dangerous, and I call it almost criminal hit. And he hit me and he knocked me out. I mean, if you go YouTube it, it's the most devastating thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. I mean, I know now why I have some issues now, but that was the hardest. I could not play for 3 weeks. I mean, I couldn't even jog the width of the practice field without getting dizzy,
Wow.
and I just happened to see that. I'm glad we're talking about this. I happened to pull it up and show some people, and I put it on Facebook. I might even put it on Instagram. And when I saw it, I still did not remember the whole thing happening. I had to look at it. I said, "Oh yeah, that's what happened to me. That's why I can't I can't remember sometimes how to get home." And thank God for GPS and that kind of stuff. But that was the hardest. But I tell you what, trying to tackle Earl Campbell.
Oh.
Was one of those business decisions you'd have to make. Earl Campbell, he was just destroying everybody. So. Yes, I've had I've delivered a few licks, and I also got licked real good one time, and then that one time was the one that I think I played maybe a year or two after that concussion that I had against the Washington Redskins.
Wow, and Earl Campbell, I remember. How do you leg tackle that guy? It's like hugging a sequoia tree.
Well, it's more like you're thinking about tying his shoelaces together. You want to stay low. You want to stay low, bro.
We got someone in the chat, Jack Kenna, great guy, asking, Jerry, what's your favorite memory or game as a Raider?
I think I've gone back and I've thought about that. There was some nice plays, some nice tackles, and big victories. But my favorite memory as a Raider was the day that I got traded to the Raiders. Was the day that I was in the facility in Los Angeles. I told this story before. I'm going to tell it again. I'm sitting there all alone after I had my physical. I'm sitting down. I'm waiting for the shuttle bus to take me back to the hotel. And I looked around that locker room and saw all those names and all those Raider helmets. And I stood up from my locker and I turned around and I saw my helmet sitting up there. And I took the helmet and I put my helmet on. And I sat down on that gray stool and I said, "Thank you, Jesus. I finally made it." And the tears just started pouring down my eyes. Just start pouring down. It was a dream come true. That is what, there's plays that were made, this and that, but when I knew that I was officially a Raider, man, and when I was sitting in that locker room, when I put on that helmet with that patch on the side, man, I started looking around at some of the names in the locker room. I finally made it. So that's the greatest moment for me, because, and I'm gonna say this because I was listening to Chandler Jones. Okay, I heard his interview first, and I'm hearing my story, and then Devonte Adams, here he is in East Palo Alto, always been a Raiders fan, and not even talking about the connection he has with Derek Carr, but that Raider connection he had as a young kid. That's me, man. That's me. And I know what it feels like when that dream comes true. When that dream comes true. That's why I'm so excited to see what's going to happen this year. I mean, these guys, I'm just truly excited about it, because what happens is, at least back in the day, okay, we can talk about that because I'm probably the only one with an ARP card and a Medicare card here. But anyway, back in the day when you got traded from one team, and if you came to the Raiders, look at their history, their history. The guys that came from other teams that they got a chance to play for the Raiders, it was like being born all over again. These guys, they've gone on to have several years of greatness, and so I'm excited for the new kids coming in, because that's how they're going to play. Because once you go somewhere where you've always wanted to be, what else can you ask for? Just be yourself, be the best that you could be.
By the way, folks, if you're on Instagram, I got to tell you, you're missing the interview with Jerry Robinson. Please go to YouTube. You're just going to look at me all night, and trust me, that'll give you nightmares. So please go to YouTube and the interview with Jerry Robinson. I know you guys like my birthday shirt, but please go to YouTube. That's where to go. Bradley and Melly Mel, thank you, Melly Mel, for the birthday wishes and whatnot. Everybody, please go to YouTube for Jerry Robinson. And I wanted to ask this, and I'm going to try to remember some of the stuff that I asked you before as well. Now, when you were playing at UCLA, okay, your number was 85. So take us back
Okay.
to going back to UCLA. And actually, you know what? Let's scrap that. I want to know, because I know the story, and you said it before, and you know what's coming, because I'm setting you up on this as well. There were some competing colleges out in California that wanted to sign the great Jerry Robinson. So the two big powerhouses down in California, at least to me, are UCLA, of course, those diabolical people, Trojans of USC. And so when you're being scouted in high school, and again, I know the story, which is why I'm queuing this up for you. There was a reason why you went to UCLA and not USC, and I would like for you to expound upon that. But especially with the camera here, we can see all the facial expressions to go with it, because it's a lot better this time, because we only had pictures of you the last time we had this show on, and we get a chance to see you. What brought you to being a Bruin, being a Trojan? Take it away, Mr. Robinson.
Okay, well, this is the real deal. And Back when I was a senior in high school, my birthday is December 18th. My brother got shot in the head December 19th. Okay. And we didn't know if he was going to live or die. It was just a nightmare. And it was during the time that USC was actually practicing to go to the Rose Bowl for probably another national championship. And I got a phone call from Coach McKay. And before I go any further, is this the story you're talking about, Captain Jack?
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. Okay. And he wanted me to come down to practice. And I told him, I said, I can't right now. My brother just got shot in the head. I mean, I don't know if he's going to live or die, and it would be difficult for me to get down there. And all of a sudden, he got really upset with me. He started calling me names. He started saying stuff like, you know what, you're not good enough to be a Trojan anyway. Go to UCLA, be a Bruin for 4 years, or you could be a Trojan for life. He said, you don't understand that, but someday you will. And I was thinking, I said, Coach, now listen, understand this, legendary coach. I had most respect for, this man, Coach John McKay, knew how to coach. But, after you start throwing some curse words at me, all of a sudden, I just went back at him with the same type of words. And because I could not understand how come this man cannot understand what me and my family was going through, just to come down for a practice. Did you have to go off on a brother like that? And so I told him, I said, you know what? I said, tell you what, Coach McKay. I said, tell you what, I'd rather go to UCLA for 4 years and just beat you one time. I said, and when we do, I'm going to come across the field and I'm going to remind you of what the fuck you just said to me. My freshman year at UCLA, we beat USC to go to Rose Bowl. I headed straight across the field, man. And I did remind him of that. And he acted like he didn't even see it. But that's the story there. That's part of it. So yeah, that was a tough time for me, because
yeah, absolutely.
I'm a young man. My only brother's got a hole in his head and in his neck and all this kind of stuff. And you're gonna come off that hard on me because I can't make it down to your practice. So I'm gonna tell you another story about this. So my senior year, after my senior year, there was went to a couple of different bowl games. There was one called the Olympia Bowl up in Washington. It's not there anymore. But it was a new bowl, and they wanted to get some name players here and there. So I said, sure, I'll be more than happy to do that. So when I got up to Washington, we went in and met the coaching staff. And the coaching staff was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with John McKay as the head coach. And I went over to him. I said, do you remember the conversation we had? He wound up apologizing for it, which made me, I'm glad he did, but he apologized for it. But when you talk about, my first year at UCLA, bam, my conversation with him that we had that helped me decide UCLA really a lot easier. And then here I am in a bowl game my senior year, and him and his coaching staff is I got to see 7 days in a row. So we were able to squash that down. So anyway, that's the story of that.
Okay, and Jerry, I gotta say this to you. Beautiful Callie Chica number 5, who is talking to me on Instagram, says that she has a picture of you and her together, but I can't show it unless she sends it another way. So what I will do, beautiful Callie Chica, please go to YouTube. Please go to YouTube, and I will send it to Jerry via Facebook Messenger after the show, so that he knows what picture you're talking about. And
Cool.
he says you got a poster, his poster on your wall in the room. So beautiful Callie is sending lots of positivity there as well. And
all
again,
right, Callie, much love, baby, much love.
Yeah, and again, hey, what I trust me, honey. If I can figure out how to, unless you send it to me on Instagram, and I'll do it on the phone, and that's about the only other way I got of doing it, is to send it on Instagram Messenger, and then I'll put it up to the screen, because I got the tablet here, so I'm multitasking as well as possible. So, Callie, if you send it to me on Instagram Messenger, maybe I'll be able to do it that way. That's the only other way I think I can do it. So please do that as well. And again, and like you said, insensitive, but at least at the very, and that's what other people said about what he was saying. And because again, your brother was shot, and that, I mean, I'm sorry, I know that coaches back then are hard and old school, kind of like you see, you don't need water, you don't need a break. Water is for wussies, like kind of like the Denzel in Remember the Titans, all of the things like that. So I get it, they want to be hard asses, but still, that just does not fly. And for
No.
McCabe,
Family will always come first.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys, that was it turned into a cursing match because you know what? I knew I wasn't going to be playing for him, and I knew I would not be seeing him. So I just let him have everything all the words that I learned growing up, and and it really, and after we were talking, I was just really disappointed in this man. I mean, this legendary man, and this and that, and this figure in college football, and that was just something that happened, but like I said, he did apologize later on, but hey, I've learned to forgive a lot of people, and I've forgiven people for a lot of things because in order for me to be forgiven, I got to learn how to, do it too. So anyway, so much for that.
Yeah, well, holding a resentment never hurts them; it only hurts you.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but you know what? There's I got to watch you play. I was a season ticket holder in Los Angeles. When I got my duty station, I got to choose my duty station after navigation school, and
That's the best I can do. I'm trying to get it.
Great job, Captain Jack.
Okay, I'm
Not,
trying to
but
get.
not. You're doing great job for somebody.
oh my gosh, she's a little tater tot.
I got it, Cali Chick number 5. I did it as large as I can on my phone while the Instagram is on. So Jerry, because I want to make sure that my viewers get the most out of the experience. So we got that. We got it done. I feel good. Not bad for a not dude that knows how to use things like that.
The internet tubes. No, but you know what? I got to watch you play. When I got to my duty station, I got to choose my duty station, and I chose Long Beach, California, because I'd never been to a Raiders game.
Wow.
And so I took my paychecks that I got from boot camp and A school, went right to the base ticket master because my ship hadn't arrived yet, bought season tickets, and that was amazing. And yes, I did get to watch you play, and I saw you. I mean, you had like what, 12 picks?
I don't even, I can't remember.
You had 12 picks total. I know you got picks. I know guys would try to light you up for getting them.
Yeah.
But if you didn't get that pick, somebody got hit.
Somebody got hit. Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed the game, and the game is as we all know, it is different. But everybody we're all on the same page. Me and those that came before me. It was a real physical game. It's still a very physical game. They've taken some of the elements out of the game, which is going to make it safer. I still think they're always making change to the offense, to make the offense score more points. You can't touch the wide receiver. You can't even breathe on him. If you call him a name at the line of scrimmage, there's going to be a flag, whatever.
Right.
Back in the day when you had Willie Brown and Lester Hayes sitting out on that corner, man, you talk about bump and run. Oh, it was a physical game. It was a physical game. You had to be a man if you're playing wide receiver. Now, you get that 5-yard cushion or whatever it is, man. So back there, and actually the position I was playing while I was playing inside linebacker, I've always been undersized, so to speak, because as Captain Jack kind of alluded to it earlier, the number that I started out in college was 84. So here I am. I'm a wide receiver who's converted to a linebacker. So therefore, there's going to always be a big size differential, and that's what it was. So I had to be technique and fundamentally sound, and I love to run. That's the thing, you know. So I always had that. I always got that assignment of taking the fastest running back out of the backfield, you know, and while other guys were blitzing the quarterback and making sacks, this and that. So I took pride in being able to, you know, I didn't give up many touchdowns. Now that I think about it, because that was one of the things that I really enjoyed doing, is being able to take one of these running backs, or sometimes even tight ends, and just run with them. So I enjoyed the game back in the day.
Okay, for those that are coming in late, Leon Johnson is coming in late. By the way, Kel Rogers is our Viking fan from the UK who's coming in. Kel Rogers and Leon Johnson, I present to you Mr. Jerry Robinson, the College Football Hall of Famer. I want to make sure I drop that as well. College Football Hall of Famer Jerry Robinson.
Drafted in the first round, 1979, Jerry Robinson to the Philadelphia Eagles. Played with them for 6 years, and then came to the Raiders and played for 7.
There you go.
Was a Raiders fan growing up. Raider for life.
Yep. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Hey, you guys, before we go any further, I really want to say I really, truly appreciate you guys' service in the military. And, you know, there's a lot of things going on in this world right now. This world is going to hell in a handbasket right now. And God only knows what's going to happen. And I just want to thank you guys for your service. And I want us all to remember to say prayers for those that are in service right now, because they're going to be in harm's way. And I just want to thank all of the military veterans, men and women, that ever served this country. I want to say thank you, and I salute y'all for life.
Thank you, Jerry. And I can't say that I speak for everybody, but I know that serving in the military was my honor to do that, because it's something that I wanted to do. And so for those that say thank you for your service, I want to make sure I say thank you for your positives, for reflections of the folks that did serve, because nowadays the people understand that, and they didn't do that in the 60s and 70s because of the environment that we had at the time. But we appreciate the veterans of today. Definitely appreciate all of the accolades and positives, because we did it because we wanted to. And I thank you for your positives, Jerry. And like I said, we thank you for doing what you did, because again, you were inspirational to us, so that we had something to look forward to when we were not, underway or doing things. It was sports for us. So we thank you too.
Right. You're welcome. It was a privilege for us it was a privilege to serve. And because Captain Jack and I were both Navy, we got to party a lot more than all the other services. And it was okay. Our behavior was excusable.
It was Raider behavior.
There you go. There was not a port that we wouldn't have gone into that wasn't a positivity. And again, thinking about the positives there is definitely. I'll have to try to remember, that I'm going to keep this PG, even though we can swear. But I want to get some other things as well, Jerry, again. And again, I apologize. I didn't remember your number correctly. I knew it was. I had it off by 1. I called you 85, so my apologies there. I knew it was 84.
You're getting old, man. That's why. Don't worry about it.
I am. I'm getting old.
Yes. Bridge concurs.
Now, obviously, you talked about what you had as your greatest moment as a Raider, but what were the teammates that you remember the most, and why? And and obviously you can go both Raiders and Eagles, because you had a lot of. I mean, when you were in a backfield with Bill Berge and John Bunning, in Philadelphia. That's quite a collection of linebackers too. And then you come over to the Raiders, to our linebackers. So you had quite a collection of players to play with, both in Philly and in Oakland.
Yeah, you know what? I really did. Let me start in Philly. My best friend, one of my best friends in the whole world is Harold Carmichael. And it was great to see Harold go into the Hall of Fame last year with Coach Flores, and I was there, and it was, well, you were there too. So we were there, and it was just really special, for that, because Harold is my daughter Jacqueline's godfather. And, to see him get in, that's really exciting. I had some great teammates in Philadelphia. Like I said, I mean, there's Bergie, and then there's Frank LeMaster, there's John Bunning, there, Herman Edwards was there too, and we had a good group of guys. When I came to the Raiders, when I looked around the starting lineup on the practice field, you got Lester Hayes on one corner. You got Mike Haynes, Hall of Famer, on the other corner. Oh, you got Mad Dog Mike Davis playing strong safety. You got crazy ass Van McElroy playing free safety. And then looking at the linebackers, there's Rod, and then there's there's Matt Millen, and then you got Howie Long, Greg Townsend, Bill Bickel. Oh my goodness, it just goes on and on and on. That's just on the offensive side. And then one day I was out on the practice field, I was thinking, I was like, what's interesting? I said, I'm on this Raider team right here, and there are 3 Heisman Trophy winners. There's Plunkett, Marcus Allen, and Bo Jackson. Oh, Tim Brown. Then there was 4. I mean, just the guys that I had the opportunity to play with the Raiders. It's just, I'll never forget them, and our alumni is so strong. It really is. And we all stay in touch. And, we've all many of us had opportunities to go see the beautiful Allegiant Stadium and do some events there. And it's just, I'll never forget my teammates, because, we are family. That's the way we roll. And when I was with the Eagles too, and the Raiders also. So, like I said, I've been very fortunate, to look around and see the names I just told you. I mean, these are dudes right here. I'm like, wow, I'm out here with these dudes right here. Every time you turn around, there's Howie making a sack, or Greg Townsend making a sack, or Lester picking off a ball, just stick his hand up in the air with all that stickum, boom, the ball just sticking in his hand, that kind of stuff. Then you get Rod Martin with it. I think it's been underrated, because Rod Martin is a great linebacker, and someday hopefully he'll get his opportunity to get into the Hall. So I was very fortunate to play with some great athletes, but also some great people that are still friends of mine today.
See, I think Bill Pickell was underrated too.
He was. I love Pick, man.
I would love to have a talk with either one of these guys. That'd be awesome. But what I'd like to know is this: who's the wildest character you ever played with?
I know where this is going, but I think
you know what? There's not just one. There was a whole bunch of wild characters. Everybody had a little wildness in them, man.
I'm looking for an exclusive story here. No,
you won't be breaking the day.
Hey, Phil Villapiano told a great story to us that was exclusive. So hey,
yeah. Phil was telling us about Purple. Was it Purple Man?
Yeah, it was a friend of Matuzak's.
Yeah. He gave when he was on here, gave us and it was a never before told
story about Purple Man in his thong bikini bathing suit, and he was bigger than Matuzak, and he had the best weed they ever had. So come on, Phil Villapiano, he's the best storyteller ever.
He sure is, man. I love Phil Villapiano. He's one of my favorite players, favorite people, man. He's just, his memory, his ability to tell a story. It's like, you're going to do a highlight film, a highlight reel, let Phil be the narrator, it's interesting. I heard a story actually it was the day after Christmas, the Raider game. The few alumni of us, we were having dinner, and I call him one of the original Raiders from back in the Santa Rosa El Rancho days. He's telling a story about Big Bad Boomer Brown. Okay.
Oh, we did a story on him here.
And he was telling us the story that Boomer and Willie Brown kind of shared a room. They're kind of roommates together at the El Rancho Tropicana. But the rooms were like this. You could open the door and go into the next room, okay? So evidently it's bed check, and Boomer, he wants to go to sleep, but evidently Willie Brown's TV's up real loud, whatever he's watching, this and that, and it was disturbing him. So Boomer Brown gets up. First of all, he yells at Willie. He said, Willie, turn that damn TV down. I'm trying to get some sleep. And Willie replied, I ain't turning that down. You want to turn it down? Come turn it down yourself. So he gets up, goes through the door, takes out his gun, and shoots Willie Brown's pillow right next to his head.
Holy shit!
Oh shit!
The TV went off immediately.
Oh.
Wow!
I said, when this story was being told, I said, "Wait a minute, man!" And the person is telling me, said, "No, this is exactly what happened over there at El Rancho Tropicana." He said, "Sometimes, Boomer, he had a bunch of guns in his car and that kind of stuff. And he liked guns. It said sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, you hear pap 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 pap. You go outside, there's just holes all in the wooden fences, this and that. He's been taking target practice. It was kind of interesting, man. That's a good story.
Wow, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Pow.
If you're on Instagram, please go over to YouTube. You can actually see everything. If you're on Facebook, please come over to YouTube as well. Either my channel, Captain Jack Rackham-Levy, or Chronicles of the Black Hole. We appreciate everybody here. And if you have not subscribed to Chronicles of the Black Hole channel, we're about 5 short.
5 short of 500, brothers.
5 short of 500. So if you have not subscribed, shame on you. We're going to get the 500 tonight by everybody here. Chronicles of the Black Hole. Make sure you're subscribed to that channel. And then eventually I'm going to get to 2,000 and whatnot, but I want to get the Chronicles up to 500 first. And we'll do that as well. Somebody was saying
that was an awesome story, Jerry. Like, wow, that's some crazy stuff.
You know what, OG? Hey, OG, I had to share that story with the Raider Nation, man, because when I heard it, I was like, oh my God. And I said, you know what? He would probably never tell that story to a lot of people, but the story needs to be told. That's the way it was back in the day, man. It was just, I mean, he was crazy. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, but he was Boomer Brown was a great badass offensive lineman, man. But the thing of it is that, hey, Willie, I'm trying to get some sleep here. Oh, if you think it's too loud, you come turn it down. He opens the door and he pulls out this pistol and boom, shot the pillow next to Willie.
Willie jumped off that TV.
He jumped up and turned the TV off in a heartbeat.
and by the way, Daniel, you're at 497, so we're getting you there, and we're going to get you
there. You go.
And I want to say this is for Lance Dominguez. Lance Dominguez is a Packer fan that watches this channel, so we have more than Raider fans on this channel. So it's people that love the content. So we got this, and Lance wants to know the best offensive and defensive player you had the opportunity to play with. So Lance, you was talking.
Wow.
Lance already was talking about, or Jerry, I should say, was talking about the plethora of defensive players. So I'm sorry you probably missed that. So we'll go back. The best offensive player you had the chance to play with, and I'll even go this in college and the pros.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna paint this picture for you guys. I want you to understand. Look at this, everybody. Check this out. When I played in my 7-year career with the Raiders, in the backfield, there's Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Allen. There's Heisman Trophy winner Bo Jackson. I mean, I used to love, when we come off the field defensively, I would love to watch these dudes play ball, man. I'm telling you, it's just to watch Marcus. Marcus is one of the toughest guys you'll ever meet, pound for pound, and even tougher. And Bo's ability and his quickness and his strength. I mean, when you don't really know how fast you are, which is Bo, that says a whole lot, man. When I asked Bo, I said, Bo, when he came to the Raiders, I said, hey, man, let me ask you a real dumbass question. He said, what? I said, how fast you running 40? He looked at me and he said, as fast as I have to. I said, you cocky. I took it. I was like, really, dude? And he said, no, Jerry. He said, you know what? He said, I learned how to run. Used to chase jackrabbits when I was younger, this and that, da-da-da. He said, I don't know, maybe 4.19 or something like that. I really don't know. He said, but I really run as fast as I have to. So having an opportunity to be on the team and watch Bo do what he did to defensive people, and to watch Marcus Allen's quickness and his football his intelligence about the game was truly amazing. You know, and also, man, listen, my wide receivers. I mean, I enjoyed the dudes on our team. I'm gonna talk about the cats that I played with. You know, we get Hall of Famer Tim Brown is there, okay, and then you got Hall of Famer James Lofton. I'm like, okay, and you know, we had Todd Christensen with all the hair and this and that kind of stuff. Todd was amazing, man. He really was, man. I miss Todd, but you know, and so I had a chance to see some great things on offense, and like I said, being on defense was just it was a dream come true for a linebacker because like I said, you got Bill McKill, Howie Long, Greg Townsend, Rod Martin up there in the front, and then you got Matt Millen and myself, and then like I said, Van and Mike Davis, and come on, man, you got Lester the Judge Hayes on the right side. Converted linebacker playing DB in that squat position. His whole thing was making your job, if you're a wide receiver, making your job as hard as it could be to get off the line of scrimmage. And Mike Haynes is a shadow. Mike Haynes was like a shadow, man. Think about your shadow. You can't get away from your shadow. Try it. That was Mike Haynes. He was the shadow. So
that's
right
fair to ask him that question. There were too many.
There were too many, you know, and you know, I have a lot of respect for the people that I played against too. You know, I feel very fortunate and honored that, you know, I look at the guys that the running backs. You got Dorsett, you got Earl Campbell, you know, you got Walter Payton, and these are people that I played against, you know. And then there was Chuck Muncie, and then there's tight ends like Kellen Winslow, and you know, just on and on. And then, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people that I had a chance to play against it in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, you know, I left out several names, but I tell you what, during that era, it was just, you know, I was very fortunate to be able to play with obviously some of the best who have ever played the game.
Well, there's only one guy you played with that I didn't like.
Who's that?
There used to be an old joke. How many blondes does it take to fuck the Raiders? One, Jay Schrader. And sorry, the man was the interception king. That was the only guy I hated on our team. I know you may be friends with him and all, but God, I couldn't stand him taking the field.
Hey, OG, let me put it to you like this. I look at it like this. The reason that I got knocked into a whole nother world, into a whole nother universe, we traded Lachey for Schrader. Now Jay and I are friends, but I laugh and joke about it. I tell Jesse, man, I wouldn't have never got the hell knocked out of me. But anyway, he said, well, if you had never tried to cut back. But anyway, Jay is cool, man. You know what? But I hear where you're coming from, man.
No, it ain't just me. It was the whole nation was all on board that.
Well, you know, we were over there on defense trying to figure out a way to do whatever we could to see if we could score, you know, or see if we can get the ball back, you know. And you know what, guys? I got to tell you this. I tell you, I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people in the world as far as an athlete because I started off this game as a wide receiver at UCLA, a wide receiver tight end. Okay, we're number 84. After we beat SC to go to Rose Bowl, and I went over and reminded John McKay of that conversation we had. During that Rose Bowl 2 weeks of preparation, Dick Vermeil called me into his office, and the linebacker defensive coordinator, Coach Lynn Stiles, they called me in, and they were talking to me about moving me from wide receiver to linebacker. And I was looking at them like, oh, I've never played this position before. And they reminded me, said, we know you never played it, but you know, we know your high school coach, Coach Lloyd, and the fundamentals and the techniques that he preaches. We said, we see you have those down. And we think that in 2 weeks practice, you could play in the Rose Bowl. Now, remember, I played a little bit as a wide receiver and tight end that season, not a whole lot. And I was like, really? So I made the switch, you guys. I made the switch. So within 2 weeks, I had a chance to play a couple plays in the Rose Bowl. So much. But my first full year as a linebacker, I didn't know anything about it. You guys, I'm used to catching passes and running post patterns and you know, 9 routes and hooks and all slants. I had to learn the position all over again. I'm not all over again. I had to learn it, period. I didn't know anything about it. I had to learn what the guys in front of me were supposed to be doing. And I got to tell you the story. My coach, Jed Hughes, Dr. Jed Hughes at UCLA, linebacker coach, defensive coordinator, He asked me that first year in spring training, spring ball. He said, "You're going to be playing inside linebacker. Do you want to be the signal caller?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I thought most of the time the inside linebacker signal caller." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because this is back in the '70s." He said, "Because a lot of people don't think that the black athlete has enough intelligence to be a quarterback in here, to run the offense, or to be the signal caller on defense to run the defense." When he told me that, I said, "Hell yeah!" It became a challenge to me. Okay, it became a challenge to this undersized wide receiver converted to inside linebacker. But he taught me everything I needed to know about the game. I had a lot of respect for the game. It became my responsibility as a signal caller on the defense to make sure all 11 guys were on the same page. And if something that I called, here's also, back then we didn't have microphones in our helmets. There was no signals, nothing was being said because you weren't in microphones. You had to take the hand signals from the side. So now, as a signal caller, you're responsible for making all audibles. The Omaha side of defense, put it that Omaha. So I took that upon myself as a great challenge, and I don't want to let anybody down. So I learned a whole lot about the game, but I was always that undersized dude. And my sophomore year, when I made All-American, people were like, "Oh, he's just lucky." Well, I might be, you can call it luck if you want to, but over 100-something tackles for somebody who's never played the position isn't a bad thing. And then my junior year, they're like, "Well, this would be his junior year, the jinx year, or whatever it is." I'm like, okay, and I happened to make it then. What was strange to me was that some of the guys in college that were recruited as linebackers, they were looking at me like, "How's this skinny ass dude from Santa Rosa? How's he never played the position before. How come he's in here?" And then they realized that, you know what? Okay, I've learned the position. I have a little more speed. I don't have the size, but I do have the technique to deal with this and that. So they had to accept that. So it was just a great experience for me to learn how to do this. And I've always had to play with a sort of a chip on my shoulder because I was always undersized. Listen, you guys, think about this. From high school all the way through, not high school, from college all the way through the NFL, 13 years in the NFL. The offensive linemen that I had to deal with always outweighed me by more than 150 pounds. And as I got from college to the pros, now you're talking about grown men with children and mortgage payments and that are a lot stronger and a lot faster. So I'd always been at a disadvantage. So I had something to prove. I just felt like that I had something to prove, that this little dude can get this job done.
Yeah, but but in playing that position, you knew what offenses were going to do. Because
well, you know what? Well, when I was playing wide receiver, they're out there on the island by themselves. They don't need to know what everybody else is doing.
Right.
You spit out there. You don't care about what the center's saying. You don't care what the blocking scheme is. You either know you're going to block or what pattern you're supposed to run. That's it. Started to play inside linebacker. Now I had to learn what the offense was doing by formations and tips and tendencies. I had to learn a whole lot about it. But you know what? It was cool with me because, when I look back on my career, it wasn't bad.
So you got thrown into the fire and you forged yourself into something awesome.
You know what? Thank you. That's one way to look at it. And here's the other thing is that I felt that back when I was in junior high school, Pop Warner, especially high school, I just never want to let anybody down. I didn't want to let my teammates down. There was something about that. So when I was in college, my coach was always saying, care enough about your teammates to take care of the little details of your assignment. Just the little details will make all the difference. And I just felt like, you know what? I had the responsibility when people would line up, I give the defensive call and the line would line up. If somebody was out of line by position, it was my job and responsibility to go either shout at them or go up there and physically move them to the position they're supposed to be in, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Now, as I'm moving somebody's butt to the left or to the right, I'm trying to get back where I'm supposed to be. And there have been several times when the ball had been snapped, but that's okay though. All I know is I'm gonna make sure all 11 dudes are playing the same defense.
Okay, I got two things for you, Jerry. First off, I just saw on a quick hit that Jeffrey Lurie is saying that the Eagles are going to bring back some of the the old school Eagle uniforms for the 2023 season. So maybe you'll get some of that those mesh Eagle uniforms because and again, because when you saw them, they were mesh.
Yeah, look, hey, Captain Jack, I don't know that Eagles jersey behind me in the frame with my daughter at her wedding, the Eagle 56, that's mesh. It's all mesh. Now I'm like this. Hold on a second here. Am I crazy or what? We have mesh jerseys in Chili, Philly. Now I'm like, something's wrong with this. I mean, when they get the wind chill factor could be -12 or -21. We're playing. Oh, what do? You put on some long sleeves? Oh, okay, yeah, those were mesh jerseys. That would be cool to have them bring them back for the season.
Now it didn't say which of the old school jerseys that they were going to have, but like I said, but I always like those jerseys because, like I said, especially at least in the summer months or in the portion of the season where it wasn't cold, then it was nice. But like you said, you're in Philly. By the way, playing in the vet. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh.
Talk to us about playing in one of the worst fields, and I'm allowed to say that because I'm from Philly as a kid. That the cement of Veterans Stadium, playing on cement with basically painted on grass.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you how bad it was when I came, especially when I came to the Raiders. Okay, it wasn't just the Raiders though, but every time you run across somebody and they knew you played at the vet, the first thing they would say, man, that turf was the worst turf I've ever been on. That's what everybody says. And it really was. Like you said, there's concrete, there's a little bit of pad, and there was some Home Depot type of turf put down there. Okay. And then you had it was on top of the infield. So then you had those little lips, the turf would be up and people would fall and trip like there was a sniper sitting up in the stands. You'd be running down the field and boom, all of a sudden you'd be gone. So that field was really, really, really horrible. It really was. As a matter of fact, that field, I truly believe that those of us that played at Veterans Stadium, our careers might have been cut short by at least a year or two. It was bad.
Was it as bad as the Houston Oilers turf?
It was bad. Well, you know what? Well, when we played against the Oilers, when their players were talking about how bad our turf was compared to, they're talking about, yeah, we thought ours was bad.
Wow.
No, Veterans Stadium is really bad. So yeah, Houston was something too, but that Veterans Stadium is worldwide. Anybody who's ever played on that. So if you ever get somebody on the show that happened to play in Philadelphia, oh my God, they will tell you how bad that turf was. But we had to do what we had to do.
Okay, and I have to say this, Richie Riche, like I said, Richie Riche is our favorite Bronco, and I know that those are two words that normally don't go together.
But really good guy.
Is a classy gentleman. Classy gentleman, gives us a lot of good analysis. Richie says about the positional shifts that you were given. Like I said, you were a wide receiver that became a linebacker, and he wants to ask, is you think that was only because of the era that you were in, because you rarely see it today?
It was rare because it was just rare, period. Nowadays, a smaller linebacker that can run. There's so much passing yardage has gone off the chart. You have to, if you're a linebacker, you have to be able to play the pass better than you ever had before because it's bombs away. Look at all the yardage. Look at all the touchdowns. Man, you have to be able to play pass defense. You know what? I've told a few linebackers, I said, you know what? The strength is important, being strong, but you don't have to be the strongest. What you need to do is drop some pounds so you can get faster because you're going to make or break a team. Your job depends on you being able to do something in the passing situations because there's more passing in this league. Back there, I had a lot of friends tell me that I lost my damn mind because I was moving inside linebacker. They were going to kill me. And, I've never played the position before. And I accepted that as a challenge. And I remember telling several friends of mine, I said, you know what? You don't know what's in my heart. You don't know. Don't judge me by what you see on the outside. You know what? You don't know. Matter of fact, you don't know what's motivating me. And I'm going to share with you, everybody, what motivated me through UCLA, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Los Angeles Raiders was my brother, Jackie Robinson. that number 56. You know, like I said, he died when he was 19. And, you know, it's been over 47 years since I've seen my brother. To be able to talk to my brother, he's never seen my kids. He's never seen the happiness and the joy. He didn't get to experience the successful ride that I had. And so that always motivated me. I'll tell you another story. One year, I think it was my first year. Yeah, it was the first year. We were at Widener College in Philadelphia, and I hurt my leg. I was injured. And, you know, they were giving me a hard time because I was a first round draft pick. Every time there was a meal, they'd start hitting the glasses with the knife. And, okay, it's time for you guys to start singing. You know, they go down the roll call and, you know, and it's just hazing. It's just something that you do. And I remember I didn't practice for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. And I remember stretching one day on the field, and I was sitting there, and my mind was not into football. And the airplane was flying, a big ass jet airplane was flying, and it was headed west. And I looked at that plane. I said, I could be on the next one of those out of here. I said, I would tell Coach Ramil, I'm going to give you guys your money back. I'm sorry you wasted a pick on me, but I'm out of here. And then all of a sudden, I realized and remembered how my brother fought for his life for over 14 months, and he never gave up. And from that point on, that drove me. That was been my inspiration. And so that's what has motivated me. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it for me. I don't like to do things for myself. I'd rather do something for somebody else. You know, if I can make somebody else happy, then I'm even happier. And so that motivation and inspiration for my career is because of a young man named Jackie Robinson, who was my brother, who died from a gunshot wound.
And I tell you what, we get a chance to I guess the empathy that we get a chance to share with you, Jerry, is heartfelt because we know what he meant to you, and because of him, we get a chance to enjoy what we've seen with you for all of these years. So we by what do you call it? The transitive theory of math, shall we say, get a chance to have him in our hearts as well, and we thank him for what he meant to you because we saw it in your play as well. And you were talking about playing for Vermeil, and
Yeah.
and again, obviously it was a good transition from being at UCLA to being with the Eagles. So I want to ask you a Dick Vermeil story
Okay.
thing about Dick Vermeil you want to share, and then I got to ask because we're right along that way of seeing how true to life was the movie Invincible, because I'm sure you've seen it, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that after you share a
Okay.
a
All
a,
right.
uh,
Let
a
me tell you about Coach Vermeil. I remember him, and I believe it was Carl Peterson came to my house when they were recruiting me, and I remember when Coach Vermeil, and when they left my house, I remember my mom saying, "That's the most honest person that's ever come into this house to try to recruit you." She said, "I like that man. He didn't try to offer you this and that and da da da. He was just real open and honest about it." So that's number one. Uh, my freshman year, when we beat SC to go to the Rose Bowl, school was out. It's December. School's out. Now there's no school involved, so therefore Coach Vermeil has us all day long. And he's been known for some of the longest practices of all time, you know. So what happened was we were getting ready to play the Rose Bowl, and we were just kind of, as a team, we were like, wait a minute, man, why are we working so hard? I mean, the man is trying to kill us and this and that. We're going to boycott practice. I'm like, okay, all right. So we're in the locker room, and they took a freshman, a sophomore, junior, and a senior, a couple of seniors, and he went up to Coach Vermeil's office, letting him know that we ain't going out to practice like that again. We're tired of just being worked to death and da 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 da. Well, they came back a little while later, the group, and they walked through the door, and we're like, what did he say? What's going on? They said, he's going to come down and talk to us. Like, yeah, we stood our ground. We done made our point here. Coach Vermeil walks into the locker room, real calm, so deadly calm, actually. He said, "You know what, you guys?" He said, I understand you guys we are working you really hard. And I know you guys feel like, you're being overworked and this should be enjoyable and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, like a light switch went on. God damn it. He was like, really? He said, you ought to be glad. There are people that are at home celebrating Christmas and all this kind of stuff, wishing that they could be in your situation right now. And you guys are sitting here crying like little babies. You're complaining that you're working too goddamn hard. He just went off. Then he calmed down again. He said, you know what, you guys? I tell you what. I understand what you're saying, and I'll make some changes. We're going to make some changes in practice starting today.
Let me guess. He went from 2-a-days to 3-a-days, right?
We went out to practice that same day, and instead of going 3.5 hours, we were at 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But we went on from that hard work. That lesson that was learned is that we went on and beat the number one team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes, in 1976. And it's because of as hard as we worked. So that's the Coach Vermeil story. Now, here's another thing. I have some friends that played for the Rams. When he went on to coach the Rams, some of their players, they tried to boycott too. Okay. And for some reason, probably years that have passed by, Coach Vermeil actually changed some of the things that he did, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. So, it's just interesting. With Coach Vermeil, man, it's just, I'm going to say this about him. I can't say enough about Coach Vermeil. I'm so proud and glad that he's going to the Hall of Fame, and I'll be there because he is the one that's really responsible for my dream as a little boy in Santa Rosa, California, playing in the professional sports, especially football. Him and Leonard Tost of the Philadelphia Eagles made that dream come true the day they drafted me in the first round, 1979.
It's amazing. I love hearing your story because you did what we all daydream about, playing for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Playing football.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. And one more thing about Coach Vermeil is that in 1975, when I got there as a freshman, I remember our first team meeting we had, and Coach Vermeil was telling all of us, he said, you guys, listen, he said, my office is down the hall. He said, my door is always open. You can always come in to my office and talk to me. That was 1976. It is 2022 right now, and his door is still open. That man right there is one of the truly just genuine people, man. He loves his players. He loved the game. And although, he was very emotional, which did not bother me because I'm an emotional person. I play with emotion, man. I can get fired up. I get excited. It's that, there's nothing better than an adrenaline rush, you guys. Whatever it is that you're doing, once you get an adrenaline rush, man, I mean, it lasts longer than sex. So what else can I say about it? You get an adrenaline rush, man. I can go on for hours and days, but I'm just saying, man, adrenaline is awesome. So anyway, I know I'm getting carried away. Go ahead, Captain Jack.
No. Like I said, I fed you the question, and this is like with Phil. You give him a mince, and I love the model that we're getting because you are the entertainment here, not me, not Daniel.
Yeah, we're learning the shit, man. You're the guy like you want to hear. I mean, realistically, when Phil came on, he told stories. He's a great storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
And his stories are hilarious. Your stories, the things you're talking about are stuff that you're opening up in ways that's like heartfelt and real. And I love this.
Well, thank you. You know what? I just want people to know that, when you're looking at athletes or even entertainers, but we're talking about sports here, when you're watching somebody on TV, you know what? You never know where they've come from. You never know what they've had to overcome. A lot of people say, "Oh, you make that look easy." Easy. It's easy because I've worked hard at it. It's easy because I've trained for it. It's easy because you've seen the situation and you're prepared for it. You know, it's not easy. And you know, the obstacles that you know, this was brought to my attention by somebody that, you know, actually about eighth grade, and her little girl was telling me, and she was asking me about this and that. And I started telling her my story about my brother and this and that, and my mom getting killed from a car accident, and my dad dying. So, and she was saying, "God, Jerry, you've been through a lot of things in your life." And I told her, I said, "You know what? You're young, and you're going to be going through a lot of things in your life. But I'm telling you this so you know that you can overcome it. Turn tragedy into motivation or inspiration. You know, if do something for somebody else. Don't do it for you. I ain't about me, man. I don't care about. I didn't give a crap about articles and shit like that, man. I figured that, you know what? Once I retire, I can go back and look at all that stuff. You know, while I'm in this game, you know, because you're sitting there, you're reading how great you are in the Los Angeles Times, and the next thing you know, your head's so deep in the paper, the dude behind you comes up and takes your place. No, man, I ain't got time for that. It doesn't matter who gets the publicity. I don't care. We just want to win, and we want to do things together. Let me tell you how close and how important, and for me, this means to me something really dear to my heart. You want to talk about closeness and camaraderie? This is why what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. This is what makes teams great and people great, is the relationships that you have. When I was playing for the Raiders, Lionel Washington, Greg Townsend, and myself, we call each other the 12s because our numbers. Greg Townsend, 93, Lionel Washington, 48, me, 57. We were 12s, and we still are. Lionel will call and say, "What's up, 12?" It was just this thing we had. But every single game, home or away, you're going through pregame warm-up. Okay, now it's time for the national anthem. We would find each other. We would stand, the three of us together. Some of us would sing the national anthem, which we didn't have a voice for singing. If we did, we wouldn't have been playing damn football. But anyway, you were still singing the national anthem. So the national anthem would go off. Once the national anthem was over, we'd hug each other and we'd kiss each other on the cheek and we'd say, "We love you. I love you. I love you. And I love you." Every single game, home or away. And I'll never forget that. That national anthem is something special for me for that reason also. But besides, there's something about it, especially if a jet flies over, man. Even to this day, you know, I'm at home. The game starts. If I'm here watching the game and the national anthem, I'm standing up, man. That's just me. That's just how I am. That's how I am. And there's something about it that's really powerful. You know, I'm not getting political and start breaking shit down. That ain't what it's about. It's the happiness that it brings to me and the memories that I have from it, from those days, especially when I played for the Raiders, Lionel Washington and Greg Townsend. So there's a lot of things the guys do. The guys are superstitious. Guys are weird. I mean, Al Davis would only come so far on the airplane and he would stop. He wouldn't go any further. And it just, you know, certain guys have to sit with each other at the airport on away trips, you know, and my job was, you know, and we got to the hotel on home games, I'd get Lionel, you know, it was a Hershey's bar and a bag of barbecue potato chips. It's just weird stuff. If it's my job to do this, my job to do that. I'll let everybody know. Athletes are really, really, really superstitious. And by the way, I know I'm just getting carried away here, and I'm thinking about, as an alumni, I've really gotten a chance to really, truly appreciate Raider Nation. And I just want to shout out to y'all and all football fans, but we're Raider Nation here. Since I've been out of the game, I've seen the love and the explosion and the compassion that everybody has for the Raiders and for each other. I mean, all over the world. And it is truly amazing. And it just feels great for me to know that I'm part of that I have something to do that. Because I'm telling you right now, walking out of that LA Coliseum, that tunnel is dark as soon as you walk out. And then it starts to get light. It starts to lighten up and you can slightly hear the crowd. And boy, when you get to the edge of that, you see people, Raider Nation fans, just leaning over the side. And all of a sudden, as the team gets out into the clear, man, you hear, oh man, you hear the crowd and you see all the love. I'll never, ever forget that. I want y'all to know, not only me, but other guys too, appreciate it. I really, truly appreciate it. That's what I really miss. I miss hearing that crowd as you're running out on the field. You know, now I get a chance to experience it as an alumni. You want to go to the stadium and this and that, you know, and it's just so powerful. So I want y'all to know that y'all play a major part in what we do. And I appreciate it. And I'm speaking for everybody else too. They truly appreciate y'all's support.
And actually, that's probably one of the better segues that I'm going to have as well, is speaking about all of us here, is your relationship with the man that wears 57 every time there's a Raider game. And tell us about your relationship with another Hall of Famer in Wayne Violator Mabry.
I love him to death, man. I ran into him at the Ontario Mills Mall years and years and years ago. And I'm gonna tell you this, I don't collect cards. You know, a lot of people are into the card business, the player cards, this and that. And that day I met him, he actually gave me a card, one of his cards, and I still have it in my office. And it's the only one I've ever kept of anybody else. You know, it's just that his passion and his love for his football team and for the rest of the Raider Nation, for the fans and the history behind the whole thing. You know, when he got into the hall, man, I was there, and it was a real honor for me to be there because my children got a chance to meet the other 57. And they love him and he loves them back. And he's just a truly remarkable man. You know, he's inspiring, and he can be motivational, and he's just positive, you know, and you know, he can give you some things from the Lord, from the Bible. You know what? Just some verses. He can just make you feel good about yourself. You know what? And you know, he's always spreading the history of the Raider Nation and what the Black Hole is all about. You know, just like you. And that's it. And as a friend for life. You know, matter of fact, I just finished one of his cigars. As a matter of fact, I just put it out before I got home.
Read this. Read this. Raider Nation, read this book.
See,
he is the man.
We got it here, and it's not because we don't get paid for promotions on this. We get paid because, or we don't. Not we get paid. We do this because of our love, because of our love for Violator. That's for sure.
He's an amazing human being.
He really is, and I was so happy, man. You know what? I tell you what. We were there last year at the induction, and we were in the tailgate tent over there, and I got a chance to see when he. Oh my God! To watch the people's reaction, the little kids that weren't even Raider fans. It didn't even matter. They knew who he was. And people that were fans of other teams that were, you know, that were there. And I mean, it felt good to me to take cameras from other people and say, no, the father, the dad, no, you get in there. Let me take this. I had a ball taking picture of him with his fans, man. And I loved it because he's such a good, genuine guy, man. The Violator, you know, 57, my man, my brother for life.
Well, and again, I can't wait to see you for all the events this year. So we'll definitely need to make sure we hook up as well. But that's also another segue as well, because people are going to be talking about what do you think about this team in its as it's compiled now.
Oh wait, I can wait.
And we got, granted, we still got some time. I mean, because there's still going to be some more people coming in post June 1st, because we're going to have another 20 million, and there's going to be cuts available. But what do you see from the transition from last year to this year? And you know, and again, we're biased because we're Raiders fan, but I actually like to look at things analytically, and that's why I said I can see the positives that are coming, but I don't give a record until I see how they're gelling and all the things that we will see at a later time. But what are your thoughts on the team as it is now, and where we can go in the future as well?
This is a new team. This is a whole new deal. The Raiders in this offseason, I mean, the moves that they've made. When you bring in Chandler Jones, now you got a badass on the right side, and you got another badass in Crosby, Mad Max on the other side right there. Then you got Denzel Perryman playing inside linebacker. Okay, I'm excited about that. And then you turn around and Devonte Adams shows up. He is in Las Vegas, one of the best wide receivers we've seen in many, many years. Just so happens to be a good friend of Derek Carr's. I mean, they did the same thing together when they were at Fresno. Now, all of a sudden, I find out just from listening to some things on the internet that him and Derek every offseason they would always get together and they would always work out together. So, and Devonte and Chandler Jones, they are leaders. They're grown men and they are leaders. The more leaders you have on a team, the stronger you're going to be as a team. Okay. And Derek Carr, he's a leader, man. You know that he will always have your back. So there's a lot of great leaders that are on this team now. And, you know, with Josh McDaniels, the head coach, this is a different head coach here, man. He's from that Belichick stuff, from that East Coast thing, man. And if you've been part of Bill Belichick's coaching tree, you don't take any mess. Bill Belichick, you know, some dude shows up 5 minutes late for a meeting. They send him home, or somebody's at a Super Bowl. Okay, you missed the meeting. Get on the plane. Get the hell out of here. They don't mess around. They don't play. They hold you accountable. And there's enough talent on this team right now, man. If everybody is held accountable and they do what they're supposed to do, they are about to light up the AFC West. It reminds me of the group, the Ohio Players, the song called Fire. Okay, and they are on fire right now. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
I love it, baby.
Yeah, you gotta keep that day job, Captain.
Yeah. So my look at them, I got really excited about them. And then I also, man, the AFC West, you get Russell Wilson in Denver. You get Khalil Mack coming back to the AFC West. Okay, we load up. I mean, right now we got two outstanding, and like I said, Chandler Jones and Devonte Adams. Man, I just think right now the Raiders are doing things that they've never done before. I mean, you can build by a draft, but you can also build by bringing in talented, great ball players who still have time left. Because remember this, you guys, once they put on that Raider uniform, it's going to be different than the team that they just came from. Okay, it's just going to be different. It's going to be different because once you know about the history of the Raiders and what does it mean to be wearing that helmet and to hear Autumn win and Lord have mercy to come into the Allegiant Stadium. These guys are fired up to play, and I know the guys that are already there. They've got to be extremely happy that they have some new teammates, and we haven't gone through the draft yet. You know, it's not over yet. So I think that the moves that are being made now, the Raiders say, okay, we're all in here, man. We're in, okay, and I am just excited about it. You know, the guys be able to just you got guys on your team that can walk the walk. There's no need to talk because you know what, talk is cheap shit. Simple as that. You got guys that can walk the walk, and that defense is going to be. I'm excited to see the defense. I'm excited to see the offense. Here we go. We got Devonte Adams. Oh, hold on a second. We got Renfro. Oh my goodness. You talk about, and then we got Waller the baller over here, man. So you know, there's a lot of weapons there for Derek Carr right now, and you know what? It's going to be a different offense because you got a different head coach. The mentality is different. You got a brand new general manager. So everything is different. It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. But at this point right now, I am extremely excited about it. And I'm sure the rest of the Raider alumni, all 950 something of us, are excited about what's been going on so far.
And a couple of players that we picked up that aren't always mentioned all the time that are going to be really good, like Bilal Nichols for the Bears.
Yeah.
And that receiver we picked up from Kansas City Chiefs. J.C. Jackson can't cover that guy either. He can't cover Devontae. He can't cover him. We picked up some underrated badasses. That's the way the Patriots do it, though.
And you know what? When you pick up underrated players, and I'm telling you, when they come to especially the Raiders, because that's my experience. When you come to the Raiders, It's about winning. It's just win, baby. I mean, the commitment to excellence, everything, man. It's about, like I tell you, it's like being born again. It's like that's how you feel about your career, okay? And these guys that are playing for the Raiders now, and the ones that are coming in, I've been out there. I've been to the stadium. I know. I've been to the city. I know how much these people love the Vegas Raiders. Okay, and it's a great city to be in and a great city to play for. And all you got to do is just win. Okay, and I can see a lot of winning taking place in the near future. Let me ask you guys a question. Can you bet on which team before the season starts? Which conference can win the Super Bowl? Is that a bet?
He can. I can't.
Okay. Okay.
But
All right.
the state I live in, you can't even do online.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I would be able to do it if I go out to Vegas. It all depends upon when they put those props out. Because
Okay. But I
they
was just
wait for a while.
No,
So
you
yeah,
can
I
bet
was I was
now
I,
if you go to Vegas, or if you're in a state where you can bet online, you can bet on it now.
okay. I was just curious if there's even such a bet. I didn't even know. If there is, I know where I'm
there
laying
is.
my money.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'm not a big betting man, but I tell you what, that AFC is on fire. I'm telling you right now, look out. Right now, I look at the Raiders. I just been so excited about what has happened over the last couple of weeks. It's like I look at the Raiders like they're a keg of dynamite, man, and all they got to do is light the fuse. It's already there. All they got to do is light the fuse. It's going to be an humongous explosions. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting excited, y'all. Calm me down. You know, I'm starting to get hot. Lord Jesus.
I'll be right back.
Lord.
I had to come back to hear what he had to say about that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, we don't want to calm me down, Jerry. Hell, if we don't pick up another linebacker, you're going in there is starting in training camp. You know, we put you with Diablo and Perryman, and we picked up another couple guys. I think like Fackrell and like
Brown.
1 or 2 other guys. So yeah, no. We want you excited. We want you out ready to play as well. So
Well,
we'll
that's
get
how I feel. That's how I feel about now. That's what the moves have made, man. And I just assume. I mean, you would know more about this than I do. I would assume that the Raider Nation is pretty excited about the upcoming season.
We are, and again, but we got more that we have to do. And like I said, it's only well, okay, yeah, it's my birthday. I had to look at the date. I'm like, well, I don't know why the hell I'm looking at the date. I know it's March 29th because it's my birthday. I should like, but it's still there's still a lot of time left. And again, we still have the cuts coming, and
Hmm.
June 1st. So we still got a lot of things we have to have that assimilation. And so no, we got a lot of building to do yet.
Yeah,
And
that
but
this is true, Captain Jack. This is true, but for this type of movement for the Raiders, I haven't seen this before. That's why I'm so excited about it. I mean, it's like, Mark is like, okay, we gonna look different. We're gonna look different than they normally do. You know what I mean? You got your general manager, your head coach, your assistant general manager. Aren't they all from, like, I call it the East Coast, the Patriots type of way? Okay, that's really that's really different for the Raiders.
we we
That's
we,
really
we
different.
like we like
Yeah,
to
but
say
we don't. It's not the Patriots way. You never. The Patriots,
it's
you
the
don't
new
go out and get a
Raiders
Devonte
way.
Adams for that kind of money. You don't.
Yeah,
You don't do those things. So I think this is a hybrid version. This is the new Raiders way.
yeah,
I
the
gotta
It
new
tell
is.
you,
new
I
Raiders.
can't calm you down. You gotta calm me down, bro. This looks like a dynasty build.
And I do want to say, and Jack, thank you for I put it up last time. I didn't get a chance to say it, but Jack Kennedy wants to definitely thank you, Jerry, for being a Raider because he did watch all your games when in NorCal, and so he appreciates that, and he definitely it says he wish he could meet you live. So Jack, hopefully you'll be able to see him live when he comes out for there'll be opportunities to see Jerry. Now, Jerry, are you going to be doing any signings or things? Because Jack Kenna is out in Cali, so if there are
Oh,
things that you're
really?
doing, let us know, and I'll make sure we pimp the heck out of it.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
let's
up in
start pimping.
Northern California.
Let's start pimping. I'll be in Fresno May 23rd, I believe it is. Me, Mervin Fernandez, and Jeff Barnes. Check
Oh,
me out on
Jack's on a
Facebook.
road trip.
Yeah, so that's all I know right now. But you know what? I really truly appreciate people that have enjoyed watching me play. But you know what? It's one of those things that it was easy for me to play because I was surrounded by the team and the teammates that I wanted to play for, and the teammates that I had. And you know what, guys? I tell you what. There's something about that locker room that's really special. You know, people got to understand that camaraderie, that bond takes place inside that locker room. It happens on the practice field too, but when you have a tight locker room, man, you're kind of like unstoppable. You know, your willingness to do the extra or go even further to lay out whatever it may be because you care about your brother in that locker room. It says a whole lot. It says a whole lot. And I think right now the Raiders are doing that, man. That locker room is getting stronger. From what I've seen, Devonte Adams press conference and Chandler Jones press conference. Hey man, that leadership is going to be infectious, man. I'm telling you, it's going to explode, and guys are going to be held accountable. That's all you have to do. Take care of your responsibility. Be held accountable. If you didn't do it right, you didn't do it right. Well, let's fix that. Okay. But you know, if you know you didn't do it right and you don't do anything about it, then you have a problem. That ain't gonna happen. From my understanding, Josh McDaniels, he don't play. He don't play, which is good. You're grown men. You know, you're in this profession, okay? It's the little things of the details. And from my recollection, Bill Belichick's always been heavy on details, really heavy on it. So you know what? It's going to spread. I hope it spread like wildfire, man. And I'm just excited. I know it's early in the game. I know there's a lot of time left, but it feels kind of good to get a jolt early in the, a little surprise, So instead of worrying about this and worrying about that, we've had it within a 2-week period of each other. I mean, we had Chandler, then we had Devonte. So, I mean, that just lit up everything. So you need some excitement. You need some motivation. You need to be, as a ball player, like, wow, man, now I got so-and-so on my team. I got this on my defense. I got this on my offense. I'm going to work harder and harder in the weight room. I'm going to do more running, whatever it is. I'm going to study more film, whatever it is, because these dudes that just came in, you're talking about real pros, okay? And they know how to study film. They know how to practice. They know how to eat, whatever it is. Whatever they're doing, you need to learn how to do it if you're not doing it.
Well, that concerns me about one of our players, because if you're going to get held accountable, we got a player that's got to be wrangled in a little bit. And I'm not going to say his name. And by the way, when you talked about the locker room, I'm in the locker room now, and I'm going to start stealing shit. Because
well, give me some shit too.
We got to add, like I said, what are your thoughts on the defense that you think that Graham is going to institute with the Raiders as a defensive player?
Captain Jack, I don't know. I don't know. I know it's going to be aggressive. It's going to be smart. It's going to be quick, and the biggest thing about, I'm speaking defensively now because that's all I really know. That's what I played. Is that you want to play as many mistake-free games as you can, because see, in the NFL, that one mistake that you did not study for or you did not learn from or whatever, you're not prepared for, that could be the one that can cost you at the end of the season for moving on to the playoffs, or that could be the one that could cost you a playoff game or a Super Bowl championship. So, I don't know how complicated defense is going to be, but you don't want it too complicated because you don't want guys thinking too much. You want to go play. And that's the name of that, especially defense. You just run and hit. It's more to run and hit. You got to be intelligent about it. But mistake-free is what I've always strived for, okay? I mean, mistakes do happen, okay? And you don't want it to be a mental effort, a mental mistake. And to that right there, that's really important. Guys know where they're supposed to be and understand their roles.
Okay. Now I
don't know.
I got to ask this as well. First things first. If you had the druthers, and this was one of the questions up there, if you had to only get one more player out of this, about in the backfield, and you had the choice of bringing in Honey Badger or Stephon Gilmore.
Oh wow!
And you can only take one. And again, I don't now. You don't necessarily have to answer if it'll put you on the spot too much. But just as a player, who do you think is more the Raiders need right now more than anything else?
Well, I need or not, the Honey Badger reminds me of playing defense for the Raiders. He's coming. He he's got a wire that's loose that most Raiders who ever played for the Raiders have had one. We've all had a wire loose somewhere. His aggressiveness is unbelievable. But you know what? Here's really my honest answer. We can't go wrong with neither one of them. It would definitely be something that we definitely need and could use. It would be to our advantage. You know what, Captain Jack? That's a tough one, buddy. I can't answer that. I'll take either one of them. What do you? No.
Who's better in coverage?
Let me ask you. Well, here we go. You know who's better in coverage. Who do you think is better in coverage? Who covers more people?
I was
Whose
saying,
job?
yeah, you got to go Gilmore because
Yeah.
he's the corner. But
you know what?
But if you're going to say if we still have that issue of covering the tight ends, which comes down to either the safeties or the linebackers, it all depends on who you're talking about covering. So it's kind of a obtuse question.
You know what's interesting when you think about when you think about the Honey Badger, you're thinking about somebody from Kansas City. Okay, he's covered. Look who he had to cover every day in practice. Okay, but
Right.
That's just one thing. But when you're talking about corners, though, Gilmore is that's what's happening because you know what, man, you're out there on that island all by yourself, man. And I know one thing: when you got a corner like him that can cover. Those defensive linemen, they love people that can cover the ball because that gives them a chance to get to that damn quarterback. Okay, and it works. And as a cornerback, especially at that caliber, you know that if I'm covering this person where I'm supposed to be covering, Mad Max, Chandler Jones, some other people, some linebacker blitzes, they gonna get there. So I would take a corner. 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 Corners are, yeah.
I'd take Gilmore all day.
I wanted if you ask me, I want Gilmore more, but I think that if there is an opportunity, it all depends upon what their asking prices are, and I think that's one of the reasons why there might be a handshake agreement that it would be a post June 1st pickup because that's when we get more cap space available.
Yeah.
But
you know what? This is where I went with this whole thing with that question you asked. I'm gonna tell you right where I went. When I start thinking about defense, I think about the nastiness and tenaciousness and the aggressiveness that the Raiders defense has been known for. Okay, that's what I thought about. I get excited about defense when you start talking about hitting and covering and somebody is willing to lay their body out. That's why I was thinking of the Honey Badger. But when I shook the cobwebs out of my head because I've been concussed, I started realizing. You need a corner. You need a corner. If you don't have a corner, that offense is going to pick that person out, and they're going to have a long day. They're going to have a long year, and they might have a short career. And with Gilmore, you ain't got to worry about that.
Nope.
Nope.
We got good coverage. We got good coverage. We got an aggressive defensive line. You got good coverage. That's all you need because that defensive line will take care of the business.
Uh-huh.
And with what we got, pressure.
Which is another segue for what I wanted to ask because remember we're talking about the defense and there was a certain gentleman that said the quarterback must go down and he must go down hard. Okay, what are your favorite stories about the great Mr. Patriarch Al Davis?
Al was awesome, man. We've all heard stories about Al, this and that. But there's something that I don't think a lot of people know about Al Davis. There was a side to Al Davis of kindness and giving from his heart without wanting any recognition for. Al Davis in my book, man, he did something for me that he didn't have to do, and I would share that with y'all if y'all like for me to share that
Oh
with you. I
yeah,
will.
I'd love to hear this
True
story.
story. So when I was playing for them, and I already had my last contract, I was 2 years into it, and went through training camp in Oxnard, and I believe Art was the coach. Oh yes, of course, Art Shell was the coach, and I remember them telling me, said, you know what, Mr. Robinson, we're gonna do is we're gonna let you go. We're gonna put you on the waiver wire. Hopefully nobody pick you up because of your contract and this and that. And if nobody picks you up, we're gonna re-sign you. I said, okay. That was that last day cut. So anyway, I'm at home, man. I was sitting at home. I was having a couple of Mickey Big Mouths, man, and I was just sitting there, just like, okay, whatever happens, happens. So the day goes by when the time was up. So no one had called, no team had called to pick me up. So the phone rings, and George Karras, who was running that department over there at that time, George calls me and said, okay, Jerry, nobody picked you up. Mr. Davis wants you to come back to the Raiders. I said, we want you back. I said, okay. So I said, what do I have to do? Do I have to call my attorney, my lawyer, who's representing me? Because now the contract is null and void, right? I had 2 more years left. So contract, so we got to do this all over. He said, no. I said, just come on in. I hung up the phone and I'd called my wife, who at the time, called her. And I said, you're not going to believe what just happened. The Raiders called and they said they want me back. And I said, dude, I need to get hold of my agent, this and that. So come in and renegotiate a new contract because, now I got to come back as a veteran minimum or whatever it was. He said, no. She said, what did you do? I said, I hung up the phone. So what I did was I called George Karras back. I said, George, so I can be perfectly clear, man, do I have to have my attorney come in here and we got to renegotiate this contract? He said, no, Mr. Davis told me to tell you that he's going to give you what's on your contract because you can teach these young kids and you've always played hard for him. He doesn't have a problem with you at all. So your contract is what it would be. You guys, he didn't have to do that. I could have came back at a veteran minimum, but no, because I played hard for Al, and he knew that I was willing to help these young kids to learn the game. He was cool with it. That would have never happened anywhere else. It would have never happened anywhere else. It may not be a big deal to people, but to me, it was a huge deal because I'm serious. I mean, you start dropping zeros off the back of that contract, especially your wife, she would definitely bring it to your attention.
For sure.
Wow.
But he was just great, man. The other thing about Al, he didn't forget anything. Al would remember. I mean, we'd be walking off the field at practice on a Wednesday or Thursday, and he would be reminding people of what they got to be alert for. Okay, or then, when I came to the Raiders, he asked me. He said, "So how's your eyesight?" I'm like, "My eyesight," and he looked at me and he just started to grin. And I'm like, how did you know about that? What happened to me at UCLA is that I was in the dormitory with one of my teammates, a guy named Theodis Brown, who played for the Chiefs, and Manu Tuiasosopo. They were all in the same dorm together. So I was sitting by the door, and someone knocked on the door. I heard a knock on the door. So I'm the closest one there. So I look in the peephole to see who's there. Well, what had happened was Manu had taken the eye thing out of the door, out of the peephole. So there was just an open hole. And so he knocks on the door and I looked at the peephole, firecracker explodes in my face.
Ooh.
Exploded in my face. And I was blind, man. I was a freshman getting ready to go play against Tennessee Volunteers. And I was on the traveling squad at that time. So, and I was blind. I went in there. I had patches for 3 days and it took one patch off for a couple more days. Anyway, that was back in 1975 or 76, whatever it was. Well, when I got traded to the Raiders in in 85, the only question Al asked me about was, how is your eyesight? I said, how in the hell did you know this? He said, You never know who I know. I'm like, okay, Al. All right. But that was pretty interesting to me. He's always been up on everything, the little things about people. He doesn't forget things. He remembers great plays. He also remembers bad plays that you have, and he would remind you of them just to get your attention. But I had a great deal of respect for Al. And I remember this. Here's one more story. When I came, my first year in '85, when I got to the Raiders, I didn't play that first game. I didn't play the first game. No, I didn't. But anyway, we wound up winning the division. And I'm a happy person. I'm almost, oh man, this and that. And, I was always tell Al, wow, man, congratulations, Al. We just won this and won that. We win the division. Okay. I'm in my locker in the LA Coliseum. Al standing over by the door, right there by the training room. I can see him right now. He was closest to my locker. And I saw Al, and I was just excited, man. I walked up to him. I said, Al, congratulations. He looked at me and said, what are you so happy about? I said, we just won the division. He said, that's the difference between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Raiders. You guys get excited and happy about winning the damn division. He said, win the effing Super Bowl and you'll see me happy. I'm like, whoa, okay. That was his mentality. You win it all, man, then you'll see me happy. But I was like, okay, all right. Put me in my place. But, I learned something that day. It wasn't just about winning the division. We expect to win the division. The Eagles didn't expect to win the division. According to him, they were happy with that. No, I was like, you bring this Lombardi trophy. Let me hold this Lombardi trophy up. Then I'll get happy. Anyway.
And unfortunately, we're still waiting on that next one. But hopefully that'll come
to a theater, to a stadium near you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I like the chances right now. I really do. You know what? I do. And I know it's off season, but you know what? I got to be happy about something, man. Life's too crazy right now. You got people trying to blow up people from another country for no damn reason at all, or whatever it may be. God only knows what's about to happen, y'all. And it's like this. I say to everybody, when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with an attitude of gratitude. I'm very grateful for a lot of things. I'm extremely happy to be here for y'all's birthdays. And just being part of this Raider Nation thing, man, it just means a whole lot to me. And it's really powerful, man. It's really powerful. It's funny how there's other nations that are popping up. This nation, that nation. Well, the OG nation, the original nation is the Raider Nation, and it's just like we are the nation, man, and it's just proud to have been able to play the game that I love, for the team that I love, in front of the fans that love that same team.
You know what, Jerry? I'm grateful, not because you came on for our birthday bash, but you are probably one of the most sincere people I have met. And I'm good at reading people. I really am. I'm good at doing it on the phone. I've been a telemarketer for years. But just sitting here having this conversation, three guys, just chopping it up about the Raider Nation and the stories and the things you told. And yeah, you divulged some dirty little secrets. Thank you. But you also, the story about your brother, man. I heard you tell that story when you were on Mark Patterson's podcast. And Mark Patterson, another great Raider from the day, a great person, very inspirational to listen to. And you told this story, and it broke my heart then, and it broke my heart again. And, you're so freaking genuine, and I'm so grateful to get to talk to you, not because you're a Raider, but because of all the other stuff, man.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. It really does. And you know what?
You're a badass fucking Raider too, but
hey, I had a chance to learn from some of the greats, man. There's a lot of rules changed because of some of them guys I used to watch.
Oh yeah, like the Lyle Alzado rule. I'm sorry, I'm an Alzado fan, but when what was it, Miles? He played for the Browns. He pulled that Pittsburgh Steelers back up.
Miles Jack.
And did the Alzado thing. And I was like, I know this rule.
You know, when I saw that reminded me of Alzado against Chris Ward from the Jets, man. I said, oh my God, he's getting ready to go Alzado on him. Yeah, man.
You know, I got to meet him at his bar. His bar was down the street from where I used to work. I'd go in there once in a while, just grab a beer. There'd be some pretty girl behind the bar. And this time there was no pretty girl. It was him. It was just me and him. And we spent an hour together just talking. And it was fun. I messed with him a little bit. But he was like my favorite Raider. Like, you know, I sat there and got to shoot the shit with him for an hour, and it was wonderful. And you know what? This was wonderful. This was one of those ones I'm not going to ever forget, bro.
Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. Hey, Captain Jack.
Sir.
How long have we been on?
Shit.
We're at
2 hours.
We're at 1:53. And
well, if we started on time, it'd be 2 hours, but you know.
Sorry about that, you guys.
Technical difficulties.
No, that's immaterial. That's immaterial. Like it's remember, it's quality over
not quantity.
Right. It's quality over quantity. But like I said, a 2-hour show, a little less whatnot. We definitely want to make sure that you have the things that you need to do. And by the way, don't go away too quickly, because I want to talk with you in the back room as well after the show quickly. But again, I want to make sure that you understand how special this was to come in for my birthday and to put a smile on my face and to make me feel better and that still got some hardship to deal with, but we're gonna get through it. And again, it bringing quality entertainment here for the folks that are out there. Folks, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the and by the way, if you haven't subscribed to Chronicles of the Black Hole yet, make sure you go over there and subscribe to Daniel's channel, because he's three people away from 500, and eventually we're going to get him to 500. Eventually he's going to go to 1,000. One of these days I'm going to go to 2,000. I'm going to go to 3,000. But I will give a Marcus Allen helmet away when I get to 3,000. But I got to get to 2,000 first. So we got to do one and the other as well.
Here's one thing. I hope I'm included in the after party you're talking about, Captain, because I really enjoyed this. This was like real deal stuff.
Jack has a quick question about knowing Jim Otto.
Oh my God! Okay.
And this will be the out the door question.
Okay, check it out, man. Jim Otto, to me, I'm remember now, I'm a young kid. I'm 7, 8 years old. I'm watching the Raiders practice here in Santa Rosa, California, where I'm living in the wine country, Napa, Sonoma, Mendocino wine country. And Jim Otto has always been there. 00, man. 00. I mean, I watched this man play and the legend he became, being a Hall of Famer. That's one thing. I come to the Raiders and I get to meet this man, and he's such a genuinely nice dude to everybody. And, you know, the countless operations that he's had, you know, the amputation and all the different physical things that have gone on in his life has not changed his positive outlook and attitude towards people. Pops, we call him Pops. Pops is the most unbelievable man I've ever met in my life. This man right here, I saw him at a Raider alumni weekend in Napa, the last one we had, and I asked him how was he doing, and you know, he said, well, you know, he showed me his amputated leg, and he said he had some things going on with his heart a couple of days prior to that, but he still made it to the alumni weekend. Okay, he still made it. He's in his wheelchair. And the man, I mean, I saw him at Coach Flory's Hall of Fame ring ceremony at the Allegiant Stadium, and he's just so positive, man. I mean, you talk about a Raider, that's a true Raider right there. That man put his his body and on the line. I mean, Captain Jack, I don't know how many surgeries he's had, but they're double-digit surgeries. Okay,
probably up to close to 100, or if you figure everything.
And everything he's gone through. But when he is in the public and he's out there, he is representing the Raiders. And that, to me, that's what it's all about. Because back in the day when I was a kid, there was more interaction, with the ball players. Now they're taking care of each other. I mean, there's social media. There's people taking pictures of them on the phone. They got to be more careful than that. But the friendliness that him and the other Raiders provided back then was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And
again, you know what? And you know what? One of my AirPods went out on me, you guys. So I'm gonna have to bust out of here in a second. But I just want to leave y'all with a few words from Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Please.
Here you go. The biggest mistake we make in our life is thinking we have time. That's from Kobe Bryant. So I tell you what, I have enjoyed this immensely. I love you guys. Stay strong. And once again, thank you so much for your service. I swear that's the closest thing and the deepest thing in my heart is for military veterans. Love you guys. Raider Nation, God bless y'all. My AirPod's about to go out, so it's time for me to roll. All right, y'all. Good night.
Jerry, thanks again. I'll text you what I needed to do because you're running out of AirPods volume.
Well, I tell you what, you just call me on the phone because I can talk to you on the phone. But
I was expecting some kill my landlord shit, but okay.
I'm gonna start doing sign language.
Robinson's Neighborhood.
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. That's right, the brother in the hood. All right, y'all. God bless you.
My landlord.
God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks again, Jerry. Appreciate it. So I'll give you a call in a minute, sir. All right. Thanks again. That is the great Jerry Robinson, and thank you for all that he said about for the veterans. All right. Thanks again. Well, I'll call you in a little bit there, Jerry. Thanks again, sir. All right.
That was amazing. That was awesome. That was a great human being, a Raider who is he's Raider for life. And this was a blessing to get a chance to talk to this good guy.
Yeah, and for my birthday, I want to thank Jerry for coming in for my birthday. I'm going to talk to him in just a little bit. And I wanted to say, if you see where it says OMG Kinsley Marie, that's Raider Arena. So Raider Arena was on the show. That's the young lady that goes out with Hollywood and myself when we get a chance to go out and do all the things. So Kinsley, thank you for being here as well for my birthday as well. Kinsley, aka Raider Arena, is a wonderful young lady, and I appreciate you being here. And I want to say thank you to everybody for being here for our birthday show. It made my birthday a little bit better than I had a wonderful birthday, 99.99%. But I'm not going to let that 0.001 get me down. But 99.999, and I appreciate everybody here being here for me and my birthday, and for OG's advanced birthday, because OG will be we're 80. We're 80 now, or it's like what do you say? It's like we're 80 years old.
Yeah, right. No, but you know what? Thank you for everybody that chatted. I know we couldn't address everything, but we were interviewing a Raider great, and we wanted to bring that to you. Now, what I'd love it is if after the show's over, please go comment in our chats. We will respond.
Yes.
And we are grateful for you being here. We really are. This has been fun. We wanted to bring this to you guys. We're going to try to line up some more like this, like Phil, like Jerry. We got to work hard to get these things. Captain working his ass off to get these things. I keep failing, but we're working on it. I'm working on getting better at this. But thank you guys. We appreciate you in the chat more than anyone. Please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you like what you're seeing, hit the damn thumbs up. If you hate our guts, hit the thumbs down. Helps our algorithm either way. but this was enjoyable. This was amazing. I'm sorry, I love the Phil Villapiano episode, but this one was more heartfelt, more like wonderful to talk to this man. He's a great man. And I love this chat. This chat is the bomb.
And again, I thank Jerry for being here. I thank Daniel for being here. We thank you for being here as part of the show. And we'll do this as we can. If you liked what you see, please hit the likes. Please share. Get the links and share it up to everybody. Hey man, you guys got to see the Jerry Robinson interview on the Chronicles of the Black Hole channel or the Captain Jack channel. We appreciate that. The more we get out there, like you said, comment after the show, please. The more you comment, the more interactive we are. The more
we get people talking with you. And you know what? Happy birthday, you old fucker!
Hey, and again, that advance happy birthday on Friday for you, you old fucker, as well.
I'll be out there on Friday on my birthday. I'm trying to get that last 3 subscribers not the last 3, hopefully, but
the next
more to get that 500 by my birthday, April Fool's Day. And yes, it's my birthday.
Yes, and you see that in the chat, it's on the screen, https youtube.com channel, then a bunch of numbers and letters. Go there and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Again, if you're on Instagram, thank you for being here on Instagram. Come to YouTube next time. This way you can see everything for the whole show.
Please subscribe to Captain's channel. He's busting his ass to bring these great Raiders, old school Raiders, to talk and answer your questions and be part of this community and part of this nation. Like, please, if the man's busting his ass to get these guys, he's good at this shit. I'm working on it. But you subscribe to Captain Jack's channel, for God's sake.
Hopefully, like I said, when we get to 2,000, the next goal is to get to 3,000. When we get to 3,000, I said a Marcus Allen helmet will go to people that are subscribed. We'll have a raffle. You'll have to make sure I see that you're a subscriber, because I can't raffle it to people I can't see that are subscribed to the channel. It's one of those things. You got to make yourself available that I can see your subscription. So we'll do that when we get to we'll get it at 3,000 Marcus Allen helmet, and that's the last Marcus Allen helmet I have. I've already given away one a long time ago.
So and I am disqualified from the contest because this old fucker, he's got integrity. So
we'll do that. But again, thanks again, folks. We'll see you in 2 weeks for another Chronicles of the Black Hole. We bring you the entertainment. It might not be an interview, but we will give you entertainment about what's going on. So please, in 2 weeks, come join us again for another episode of Chronicles of the Black Hole. Subscribe to Chronicles of the Black Hole on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe as well. Like, share, comment after the show, please. Daniel, I appreciate you being here.
Comment after the show, because I love talking to you fucking guys all week long. And when I hit my 500 and Captain's got his 2,000, we're going to do a TikTok dance. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll do something.
Listen, you guys make this stuff. You guys make this stuff work. And we are going to bust our asses to get more content like this and our regular content. Some on Roku, some on not, But, and then we have to behave. But, hey, brother, I love you. Happy birthday for real. And let's go.
There you go. Thanks again, folks. Appreciate it. Remember, Thursday, it'll be another show on my channel. Will be, you don't know Jack about sports. That'll be Thursday. Sunday will be another Ask Captain Jack show. The following Sunday, I will not have a show because I'll be watching the Lightning play the Buffalo Sabres. So I'm going to take that night off. But remember, we'll have these shows as we can. We have Captain and Wenches next Tuesday. So we'll have that show. Hopefully I can line up some more things. So again, Appreciate everybody being here. Daniel, again, thank you for being here, shootmate. I appreciate you being my cohort in crime.
I'm going to be here Friday because it's my birthday, and this is what I want to do. I'm going to get on Friday and do a show with hopefully my buddy Jack Kenna. Hopefully the captain can pop in. Matter of fact, hopefully all y'all can pop in. I would love to have as many as I can because we like to interact with you.
For sure. All right. Folks, we'll see you next time again. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and comment. Comment after the show, please. Until next time, we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.